Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Roger Live with Roger Hanson. I'm here today, getting ready to do a topic on gaming, and today we're gonna have pretty much a laid-back day. I figured what we're gonna do is target uh, Karma today, because um, she's got some cool stuff happening with her sons when it comes to Minecraft. I want to dig into that and see how it's working out with her. You okay with that, Karma?
I mean, I guess so. I guess, yeah.
And another thing too was yesterday when we were doing Pirate Radio, you mentioned some things that concern you with your kids' gaming, and I'd like to kind of bring that up and make it a topic, a sort of topic on here, because I think it's a good subject that a lot of people do need to talk about. So, are you okay with that?
Okay.
All right. So, first of all, before we get to the other stuff, uh, how are things going with you and your kids on Minecraft? Kind of give us a little feedback on that, because
They just bought some thing they had me to buy just now, but I haven't really been playing as much because I have like so much stuff that I have on when I'm supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing when they would like me to play. Well, no, I guess the day before yesterday I played with them a bit, but like overall it's good. They just built a house on a new realm. They hold on. They just built I'm about to ask them. What's that thing you just built, Rocky? On your a house or was on stop that. Don't do that. What on the couch? What is that other thing on top of it? Beacons, yeah, they just built a house with beacons and then they have their diamond armor
You
and
know,
stuff
you saw
like
my
that.
one were blue beside the glass.
Because of the class. Okay, go. I was just asking for what
Hey,
you're
Mr. Roger.
hello. Glad you guys are
we're
having
going.
fun.
We're working now, okay? I just
Yeah,
had to ask you a question.
I have a song.
No, the food is coming. And then so yeah, they've been doing that, building bonfires. Like they're so advanced with that stuff. It's wild because like they have whole houses and I'm like frustrated attempting to cut down trees.
Well,
And yours is so cool. You had the zombies. See, I didn't know the zombies come full on attack. Cause
yeah.
you had the zombie at the door, and the zombie was like not leaving you alone. We were screaming, laughing about that on Thursday, because he was like, like just at the door, and you're just chilling. You're like, I got a zombie at my door. It was so funny, dog. Juice was so into it, like no distraction, straight like the way he watches the other Minecraft videos, he watches yours, and I think that's so neat because you know what I mean. He's just like all into it. I gotta learn that buildcraft jump though, because they want that map that you have, but we,
Hmm.
like I said, we have it on iPad, so I don't know how that's supposed to work. Is that your cat?
Yeah, he's
Hi,
somewhere.
baby.
He's somewhere in the other room. That's what I'm saying. He's insane. Like, whenever I met him, he was worse than that. He was outside circling the houses, or circling the house, and you could hear him all over the house. Like, he wouldn't leave
Just
us
so you let
alone.
him in.
Yeah, like, this is my home now. I want in. Open the door.
Right, he really chose you. That's
Yeah.
so cool. And you know what's funny? Because we had a cat that came to our apartment when we lived in our apartment, and we would just feed it. It never really came inside, but we would feed it, and he would come outside and eat. And it looks just like the cat we have now, which is wild. Because we were looking at old pictures, like, oh yeah, you remember this cat? And you're like, yeah. We were just looking at the picture, and he was like, that looks just like Omni. I'm like, yeah, it actually does look just like. Oh, hi, baby. It does look just like Omni, and I think that's funny because we were talking about cats choosing us. I know that was a complete sidebar. And that's another thing. They know how to make these things. Like they make wolves out of bones and stuff. They can completely
Yeah.
reconstruct, like just construct a whole animal
Hmm.
out of the bones and stuff. I don't
Now,
gotta do any of that.
they can also feed them bones, and if they feed them bones, they'll be their companions and and protect them.
Yeah, that's what they say. Tame them. They
You
because he
can
kept
tame
trying
them.
to say, yeah. He's like, "Mommy, you have to tame it." I'm like, "All right." I just went in his house and killed all his wolves because I got frustrated. He
No.
was like, "Don't kill my dog." And I'm just killing everything. Yeah, he had it like it was like a portrait. He
Don't
had
kill
like
my
8 dogs.
dog.
Right, he had like 8 of them, and then I'm just slicing them up with my diamonds. Or like, show me how to do it, Juice. Like, stop killing my dog. Ah,
No,
it's so
no,
funny.
no. John's on here. Old John. I can actually
Yeah,
call him by his gamer name. This is cool. Now, what do you think about Minecraft, old John?
I've never played it. I've played Minecraft Legends and Dungeons. I've never played the original Minecraft.
Well, those are
So I
still
can't really,
Those are still
can't really comment
Minecraft
on it.
though. Those are still
Yeah,
Minecraft
I
though.
I love Minecraft Dungeons. 'Cause that's just like Diablo type game, but it's Minecraft characters. Legends I only played once, and it wasn't bad, but I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was something about it didn't quite bond with me, but it was all right though.
All right. Now, I've watched some videos that he's done on those, and they're not like what you guys are playing. You know what I mean? Like with you got an open world and everything, and you can build
yeah.
stuff. So, the dungeons, I believe, is kind of like going through a dungeon and being able to like kill the zombies and the skeletons and stuff, and you have to actually go through levels, kind of like Diablo, like he's saying. But I
Ours
personally,
is like,
oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, I like the fact that we can build on ours. But what I don't like is that, like, in survival, if you die, all the stuff you've accumulated disappears. I guess that's the point of it being survival. Like, you want to keep your stuff, like, suggest you survive. But you said something about a cheat that I could put on there, and then I'd be able to get the survival mode or whatever. I don't know how to do
No,
that. You said
it's not a cheat. Um,
get the stuff in survival. What is it then? What do I have to do?
I was saying build a chest.
Oh, and store all my stuff in there, and then go back to the chest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to play Minecraft.
Yeah, build a chest. That's
Yeah, Jesus was
important.
saying I had to turn on
Okay,
cheat.
I should have told you like the first 3 steps. Okay, first 3 steps. First step 1 is build a house. Step 2 is build a chest, and then step 3 is a crafting table, and you'll be all right. After that,
I'm
you're
still
cool.
learning the crafting table
Or-
because, like,
Actually, build a crafting table for step 2. So build a house, build a crafting table, and then build the chest, and you're good.
I might attempt to do something because, like, they're, like I said, geniuses with it. But, like, when I attempt to do it, I get confused. It's like you gotta have the crafting table, so we put the crafting table down, and then I don't even know where. Like, it tells me, "Oh, new recipe unlocked," and I don't even see where the recipes like go to. So I don't know. It's wild.
I've been kind of running it through my head, just an idea, but maybe we should like get some footage of just you playing, and then like me and some other people back there watching you play. That way, freaking, we can get some comments and stuff like that, and be able to watch you play instead of watching me play.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see how I cannot do too much, but I got you.
That's
It's like, why is she walking in circles?
that's a better.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
honestly, it's a better thing to watch because I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, but you're just now starting out. I mean, a lot of people would love to see somebody starting out and how they deal with the game. So,
And growing.
you know.
I would knows.
but we'd have to keep it kid oriented because I wanted to do kid friendly. That's why I don't share it on my WLCs because I don't want like everybody in my WLCs making adult comments on there, you know.
Well, the boys don't read the comments. I try to keep them as sheltered as possible. Like, I mean, he said something today. He was like, "Mom, you remember when you were like, that's corny?" I was like, "I didn't say that." He was like, and the other one was like, "No, she said boring." I was like, "Where did you get this from?" Which means you've been listening to me talk because I don't even corny's not even a big deal. But it's just like I don't want them to grow up so fast and like, oh, they're gonna grow up and it's gonna be
Hmm.
so fast. I don't know. This world blows balls, so I would like them to not have to take part.
Okay, so that brings us to our second thing. Now you were talking last night about you have concerns when it comes to your kids in video games. Do you think you could kind of share that more on what it is when it comes to video games, so that we have a good talk about it?
Interception, like just the same with like technology. The reason why, even though most people put their 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds on like TikTok and Instagram, like my kids, I don't. I just know that they are the strongest form of energy that people can have access to. And that's why people, and this is not justifying, but that's why there are pedophiles. That's why they child traffic. That's why they extract adrenochrome. Like our kids have, and that's why people search for the fountain of youth, and they're making all these transhumans so that way they can remain young forever. Like if being young was not so important and so substantial and just so significant, then it would not be a big deal to maintain youth. So at this time, the children are so vulnerable, and I feel like people are literally intercepting their vulnerability. Like these adults are basically dumbasses, and so they know the kids are not all of them, but they know the kids are not. They know the kids have the answers, so they create technology that we're supposed to protect them from, not thinking that some weird ass adult is sitting around with malicious intent. I'm gonna drain you, my pretty, and literally that's what they're doing. And my babies are so smart. I mean, like, if you want to help them, hold on 1 second. I'm just telling you.
Hmm. Well, while you're waiting, I can kind of comment on that. Like my sister, she had a well, she's talking about that before, where like my youngest nephew, he used to get on YouTube before they did the minor thing under 13, and
Yeah.
he used to take videos of him and his friends. And she said, you know, to me that's kind of odd that you get all those views, but like the average person who's not even your age can't get even
Can't
a
generate.
third of that. It's like that's kind of odd, you know. So
I
I
mean, that's just because they are targeting the children, like I said, and it disturbs me because, like, I know what they're capable of. I know I know how smart they are, and I know what, like I said, just like I know what they have to offer, and it'd be different if consensually you're like, "Hey, your kids are super." And if they were like, your kids are super, super smart, we would love, 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 love to be able to, pay them for their expertise. No, it's literally like, oh, these kids are dumb because they're young and their parents just don't care because they have so much going on. I'm going to basically extract all of the things that they have and I'm going to make it seem like it was my idea. Like, no, pay these kids properly and let them do it consensually. At that point, there's an even exchange. But no, unknowingly, they're being targeted. And like I said, adults are not as smart as kids. I know we love to think that we're more experienced, but we're not as smart. Kids say stuff and they can teach us stuff, but we don't listen to kids. We think we know it all. We think we have all the answers, and we'll sit here and tell a kid to be like us, and we're miserable, probably drunks, always drinking, doing drugs, something. You know what I'm saying? We'll be like, "You're wrong. Do it like this," and you're freaking high. Shut up! Like, are you kidding me?
yeah.
They're them in their rawest form, and you're telling them that they're the problem. Like, no. But it's
no,
just crazy because I
no.
mean, like, we don't. What do we do about it?
Now, like John has his son playing on the game, so I'd like to actually hear from old John. What's your thoughts on all that, John? He might be busy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You've got to be careful. I'm obviously monitoring my children. Well, my older children are grown up now, but my youngest and stuff with gaming. Like he wanted to play Roblox, is it they call it? And we stopped him for a long time, and he still hasn't played it. We've just sort of avoided it. Whereas some of my nieces and nephews play it, and I do not agree with it at all because they're too young, and you just can't. You don't know who they're playing against and stuff like that, and talking to and stuff on it. And I just don't, I don't agree with. I certainly don't let my son play that game anyway, because that game is really bad news, I think, for youngsters. Minecraft, I can't comment to say because I don't play it. He tried to play it and found it a bit complicated, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. But the Minecraft Legends is open world as well, and you've got a crafting table. That's some similar to Minecraft, but it's more like you've got battles to do in it. You've got territory to gain and stuff like that, and you've got to build characters to help you, like minions to help you get different tasks and stuff like that. But it's
Do you
not
have
as
to
easy.
play with other people?
I think so. Yeah, I played on my own, but you could play with other people. Yeah, I'm sure there was the option for that to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't let them play online. Like playing online, they might get online once a month for 30 minutes, and I'm like right there because people will come and want to talk. Don't talk to my kids. Like, you weirdo. Why do you want to talk to my kid? Like, you know what I mean? Play the game. Why are you sitting here chit chatting? Like, what?
Yeah.
No,
I agree. Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Just play. You don't have to talk to my. I don't know. After Yahweh, I'm very particular about my kids, and I don't care how it sounds. They can grow up and be like, "Mom, you were too overbearing, and you sheltered me too much." So what? You're still here, period. And like, you can do what you want with your kids now. This is my role, and I'm gonna play it. But yeah, I don't do that whole online. Like, why do kids have to socialize online? Like, they go to school, we already
I agree.
you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean? We
agree.
send them to school. I didn't socialize with anyone when I was online, when I was a kid online.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my friendships, like, if I go to Jersey right now and those people know I'm in Jersey, it's like we never left. We just pick up where we left off type of thing. Now, Kia, she's the one I kept in touch with throughout all the years. Since 2002, been best friends with her. But like, in regards to like having to meet people like adults, I feel like we become more socially awkward because of the hardships and the strains that are placed on us, in just society. But attempting to create that for kids, for it to be a norm, like you'll see little kids walking around like zombies just with cell phones or iPads, and then you see some of these videos where the kids like beating their mom because the iPad's not working, and it's just like my kids say. I mean, he gets a little frustrated when you tell him you got to get off of it, but I've never gotten beat with an iPad, and these kids are like, I don't know, I feel like we're losing our youth, and I don't feel like people really care because they're too preoccupied with wishing they could get theirs back.
There was something else that really hit me, like especially when I go on the WLCs that me and John's on, or John used to be on it, but and don't get me wrong, I have nothing bad to say about the people I game with. All right, before I post this, I want them to know this, but at the same time, I do notice that there's a lot of mental illness that's involved with people who game and stream at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to me, another issue that, and don't get me wrong there either. I think gamers are probably the only ones who openly admit to other people on like Discord that they do have mental illnesses. They have no problem with discussing it, but at the same time, I personally believe that people with mental illness are like drawn to play video games in a lot of video games, you know what I mean? Not just as a hobby or anything, but they do it long term for a lot of hours.
To get away from what they're dealing with, it's an escape, and then to be able to interactively associate with the fantasy world. Like it's one thing to watch a movie, but you're not in it. In a video game, you create your world, you control your world. Like with kids, kids may be innocent, but I feel like I know my boys have ADHD, and I don't like to say that because I despise labels. I feel like once you put a label on something, you are solidifying and saying this is exactly what it is, and consolidate. This is it. There's nothing else. Blah 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 blah. But I know for a fact that like that's when we had issues, so many issues with school because of that type of thing. But when you're sitting down and you're creating and you're able to use your mind in ways that is easily accessible, like it's not easy to like do things like an architect can do, or to do stuff like an engineer can do. You're not going to be like it could be, but unfortunately science sets are a little bit more expensive than $6.99 download on an iPad, and you can do more. You have the iPad, like we have the iPad for school. So you're saying I can download this game for $6.99 and they're gonna chill? Okay, cool. Whereas if I go get science, we have our science sets, but our science set costs like $40, and then you gotta buy all this stuff. It was $40. No, it was like $30. The science set was $30, and then you gotta buy everything for the experiments though. So by the time you've done that, you spend $60 to $80 depending on what the stuff is. And look, that's just one. That's just one go round. Now you know what I mean. It can't just go back to it. Once we do those experiments, it's done. And in attempting to have the stuff to build, like they make it very convenient and easily to get lost in. You know what I mean? Like these, and as some people that are, if you have trauma, the last thing you want to think about is the fact that you have trauma. In most cases, I don't know. I'm real big with accountability and being able to like address my issues so that I can adjust them and fix them and correct them. I know a lot of people like to act like I'm the great I am. I have nothing wrong with me. I'm smart. I'm whatever. And like it just kind of presents and it presents a whole different type of situation. Because like Juice, I always tell him, like, look, if something's bothering you, don't say it won't bother you. Like, do not tell, because we always talk. They'll come to me, Mommy, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel good. Or if I, and I don't like telling them that I don't feel good, even if I don't feel good. Because one thing's for sure, they feed off my energy. And if I tell them I'm worried about something or I feel bad about something, that's how they feel. And so, but with them, and this is how he's checked me. He's like, well, when you're sad, like you'll tell us you're okay, and then we'll see you crying. And I'll sit here and I'll just look, and I'm like, well, what if I was having happy tears? It doesn't be happy tears, Mom. We know. And I'm just like, all right, well, you caught me. I don't like, and I tell them the truth. Like, I don't like y'all to feel bad because you feel how I feel usually. And they're like, yeah, but we want you to feel good. If you tell us what's wrong, just like you want us to tell you what's wrong, we'll make you feel better like you make us feel better. Like, my kids are smart as shit. And like, we're real and very emotionally competent. And like, I know that they're more emotionally competent, like any adult that I know. Like, I don't know any adult more except maybe me, I don't know, but like I mean even with my mom and stuff, like she's a doctor in high prestige, held in high regards, and she does not deal with her trauma. She shuts people out, kind of judges people, and she doesn't get to play video games. And well, she could, I guess. Maybe she's playing video, when she used to do medical school, and she's like playing Operation. I guess that's kind of like a video game scalpel type thing. But yeah, like I don't know. I just know for a fact, like you were saying, how
she doesn't think of me as her intellectual equal whatsoever.
No. I'm not. Are you kidding? I'm talking about emotionally. We don't talk about emotions. We don't talk about emotions. And I said I don't know.
Everything
we don't really
said,
talk
I
about.
agree with 100%. Being honest, and be honest. I also think you're a very good mom. I mean that's really solid stuff.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. That's sweet. I feel like I do a shitty job.
That's the way every mom should be. You need to be responsible for your kids and what they're watching, what they're playing, and all that, because that is a big problem. A lot of people don't care. They just turn around and give their kids, Call of Duty and let them go to work.
Oh my God. And like they don't even know these things exist. And that's another thing. I tend to keep them that, like I said, I might be keeping them sheltered, but I feel like I'm protecting them. If they find out about it later, then it was meant for them to find out. But if they never find out about it, I feel like I help them in some way. Like, we already do homeschool, so they're not hearing people talk about it at school. The stuff that they do with sports and stuff, they're only focused on the sports. They're not really talking about video games and also, you know what I mean? They're there to play sports. They don't have a whole lot of free time by kids who are not being parented around kids that are not being parented. And so it makes me like to kind of walk away from your kid and give them a device. It's tough for me. I was big on
Hmm.
not letting them have iPads, but we had to do homeschool. So we have laptops, and they have their laptops, but they don't use their laptops. They use their iPad because the iPad is convenient. We can travel better with the iPad. We don't have to worry about having the full on charger and everything. Like, I mean, but we still have them. They have laptops. I have laptops. I have iPad. They have iPads, and I tend to keep it like that. If I have it, they have it. Like, period. And like that's just how it goes. And but I don't like they monitor time. That's why they can sit. Like, people are like, how are they just sitting there and not bothering you all day? Because they don't get iPad all week long. They get maybe an hour after we've had a successful day. But we're outside. We do stuff with our hands. We're active. We take walks. We go to the park. We go to the lake. We do stuff. I don't want them to just sit around on a device. I like that they play I Spy. They play hide and seek tag. They play regular tag. They play hide and seek. We wrestle. We like to their dad started them with wrestling, and when we got separated, I had to do it because they're boys and they like to do it. I don't like to do it. My kids are strong, but I've learned how to keep my guard up and keep my head low. Let's go. Let's box. And it's cool, but
Well, I
like,
was impressed with you though, because like after the conversation we had about barbershops like a few weeks ago, I think, or maybe a week ago, and
no, it was like 2 days ago when I had the boys at the barbershop.
no, before that, like
Oh, okay.
when we were talking about the salon, and then I was like, we started getting into how the barbershop was, and you said, "Oh, that's nasty. It got
Yeah,
stuff."
with the toilet, with
Yeah.
the yeah, with they don't clean it up. They don't. They yeah. They but I don't.
But then
Listen,
then it goes back to yesterday where you'd taken your kids to the barber shop, you know. I was like, you know, and that's important for kids, believe it or not. Like the, boys especially going to the barber shop is a big deal.
I wish you would tell them that. I have to fight with them to get their hair cut. They don't want their hair
Oh,
cut
they'll
unless
always remember. They'll
unless
they'll they'll always remember going to the barber shop. Like
and then that's one thing
that's like
I agree with. It's
that's like yeah, that's important.
a
So
milestone, I think is what they call it.
yeah.
Like some I don't want to say milestone, you know what I mean? But like a core memory. Yeah, no, because they go in the barber shop and the barbers treat them like little princes, giving them
Hmm.
that, and it's so cute to watch them because I don't say anything. They know what they want for their haircut. They might ask me, what does the design look like? Do you have a picture of the design? But they'll go in there and be like, yeah, and cut my size and put my part right here and put my design right here. And I be ready to cry because they're such big boys. He's like, oh, my babies are big boys, but like they're so well spoken. Like they know how to ask for what they would like. Like a lot of kids aren't like that. They're all withdrawn and they have to have their parents do everything for them, which I guess that's good. But I feel like that when we raise our kids to be completely dependent on us, it's because we feel inefficient. We feel like we're not important, and we have to have someone need us. Whereas we're raising them to be adults. So are we going to raise kids that are completely dependent on other people? I was a kid completely dependent on other people, and I had to learn on my own. Like, shout out to my ex-husband. If he didn't do anything else for me, he helped me to be more self-reliant. But like, there's these kids, they can't even think for themselves. It's like, oh, Timmy, do you want the red one or the blue one? I don't know, mommy. Which one do I want? It's like, Timmy, you're going to eat it. Which one do you want, Timmy? Just like, you pick. Like, you're allowed to pick. You're allowed to have a say. You're allowed to know yourself, learn yourself. And it's just, I don't know. I want them to be okay. I just, they gotta be okay. And that's why I get pissed off when we have, my break, he'll come. He's like, Mom, my iPad's hacked. I'm like, why do you say? He's like, watch this. And he can tell. He's like me with this stuff when he can tell when our services are being intercepted, and he'll show me stuff. He's like, you see how it's looping like that? It just keeps going over and over. And I'm like, yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. He's 8. And I'm like, you're right. It's not supposed to be like that. And he's just like, I have reset it. And I mean, like, for him to know that at 8, I mean, I can't wait for he's an adult when he's hacking the hackers. He's like, think you're gonna hack me? I'm gonna come hack your ass, you dumbass. Like, yeah, that's the goal. Like, I'm gonna raise a little army right here. The U.S. has Israel and Ukraine. I'm gonna have my kids. Like, period. Like, yeah.
So
I like
John,
them a lot. They're cool.
So John, you got any input?
I did. I was going to say, gaming can be a positive thing. A guy went through going through separation, divorce. I don't know, was it 15 years ago or more now? No, about that, yeah. And I used to play Call of Duty every night, and it helped me massively. It really helped me. I made a few friends in it, and it helped me like focus on the future, so to speak. But on the other side of the coin, I see gaming and gamers getting mental illness from playing games too much as well. And it even affected me in the past, playing a game to death, really literally, and it really made me like that's like paranoid, you know. I was just playing it too much, and when I stopped playing it, then all the paranoia seemed to go. So I guess to say there's two sides of the coin as far as gaming is concerned for me as an adult. Obviously with children it's totally different, of course. Just as an adult, that's how I see it.
Now, as an adult, though, would you have when it comes to mental illness, do you think that as the father of your son, if you let him just constantly play any game he wanted to over and over again, that it would cause problems for him in the future?
Yeah, it would. Not so much in the future. I think it's more short-term damage. I don't think it's long-term, unless it was something like he's playing horror games or something, you know, graphic like that. But I wouldn't let it happen anyway. It just wouldn't happen. My son's got an Xbox, and he plays it like about once a month, so it doesn't really bother him at all. He's not one for gaming, so I'm glad in a way. But my older children are they're big gamers, but my younger one isn't.
No. Socially, for me, like just being around my nephews and my nieces, okay, the one thing that I noticed when they started doing their video games is my nephew Tai, he started playing video games when he was really young, like he was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and his mom and dad just let him play whatever he wanted, and the kid could kill me with a freaking Bowie knife on Call of Duty when I have like automatic weapons and stuff, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean he got real crazy about it, and the messed up part is it started happening right around junior high school. He just stopped caring about anything that concerned the outside world. From the time he was in junior high school all the way up to graduation in high school, and then afterwards, that's all he ever did. He stayed in his bedroom and played video games. I've got another.
Well, how is he now?
He's in his early 20s.
Does he still play video games the same? Like, is he adamant about that?
Constantly.
What about his behavior? Is he social or is he antisocial? Is he disassociated with reality, or?
He's a very smart kid, but he doesn't socialize. Like, he's a very smart kid. He's one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. He's polite, everything else, but he just doesn't think it's worth going out and meeting people, you know?
But I wonder if it's only the video games, because we can withdraw when we become aware as well. That's something I had to learn, like sharing like what I know, and even like last night, like Mr. Anderson, when we were on Pirate, he knew what he was doing because he knows me. He knows that I don't really. That's why he asked me all those questions the way he did, because I mean, like, I have an energy restoration company. If you go on my Patreon, the prices are not cheap. But what I do and what I'm able to offer is that type of stuff. And I learned from sharing because I used to share. I mean, like, literally, when I first became enlightened, my goal was to make sure, especially once I understood it, because at first it was understanding what was happening to me and being able to comprehend and relate. That's why I don't know if you heard me when I came on, John. The name of the language is called Glacialeya, but I have to, like I said, I don't want to spell it wrong, and I was like attempting to do it phonetically. I'm like, that's not how you
Yeah.
spell it, but I know I have it in my notes of how to say it. But like, I didn't know what I was speaking. I couldn't understand what I was speaking. This took time, and then people attempt to like mimic what you do and copy what you without putting in any work, and then it kind of discredits what you do, and then it's
Yeah.
like you're really making me look like a fool, and I've worked really hard, so I can understand withdrawing and not, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just
Well,
like, you
I
know what,
mean,
people are
like
kind of childish.
he's just one example though. I mean, I've got plenty of nephews
A lot
and
of people
nieces,
like
you know,
that.
like and I've got another nephew who is basically the same way. He's the oldest of the nephews, other than my son. My son's the oldest of the grandkids, but he goes to work, you know, and comes home, sits on his computer. He goes and stops off at Burger King to buy French fries and freaking
Aw.
and a cheeseburger. Throws it down on the floor, and he has a pile all the way up to about your knees
Stop
before
it.
he puts it in a garbage can or bag.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious.
No.
His
My
mom.
word.
His
Ugh.
Okay, his mom goes upstairs and sees this shit, and she just freaking comes off the wall. She comes unglued. She's like, "You need to get your ass up. It's time to clean your bedroom." And this is like, he's living there with his mom, paying her. No, actually, he doesn't pay rent now, cause freaking he freaking helps out with other stuff, but
Right. But I
but
mean, like, I didn't, when I
but
lived with my mom, I didn't pay. That's what my
he
grandma.
he is so obsessed with that video game though that freaking that's all he does.
Nothing exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
they get like that. I don't even like them to eat in their room because I'm real big on like no bugs,
okay.
and like Florida is notorious for bugs. If they eat in there, that's only one day. One day, if I see trash, I'm her after she's seen it after it's piled up a month. I'm like, are you kidding me? Look at this wrapper right here. You're not over a video game because they get so caught up in it. But like I said, I
Mhm.
think it's that ability to create and see something from what you think, what you visualize. Because I mean, you can visualize things, and usually it takes time. We live in a microwave generation, that immediate gratification. So I see this house, I build this house, it's here, I live here, it's real for me, type of thing. So
Mhm.
I that's probably why it's so hard to kind of come out of. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. And
I
and
could
and don't get me wrong either. He's just like Tai Tai.
real
He's
sweet.
smart as heck. You know what I mean? He's smart as heck. He graduated high school with freaking like straight A's, honor student, and instead of going to college, he ends up getting a job at Walmart. You know what I mean? And freaking playing video games. That's the only kind
He
of
can probably get cheap video games too. Walmart gets all the new releases. Please, we got Black Friday around the corner. He probably can't wait. He
you know.
probably can't wait.
It's like, I
Yo.
mean, that's kind of some of the issues that I have about it, um, and like I said, these are very smart kids. They just have no motivation. If it doesn't involve video games, they just don't have it. My son's the same way. I mean, my son James, John knows him on Steam, but all he ever does is play video games. He would literally freaking have a meltdown if he had to stay away from his video games for any reason whatsoever. In the
What you
last,
said,
huh?
no, just what you said is an interesting point and something that we should probably look into. You said they lack motivation to do anything else, so that's something that we would be able to kind of just I don't want to say experiment with, or at least research to see what if there is what in video games, and it's certain, it would have to be certain video games, so we would have to like see see, I would want to do something like this to where we have our control. We have our experimental group, and we have our control group. So the control group, no one's playing video games, but they like these type of things. We'll have separate games that I play fantasy games, and then these people play like Call of Duty or different type of games. I don't know all the names of each category of gaming, but we would have to see the effect of which, like, is it a certain type of game that people lack motivation when they play? You know what I mean? Because I like Katamari, but I mean, I can get up from Katamari. I like 2K. I can get up from 2K. Minecraft, I enjoy playing it with the boys. I like that we have something to bond with, and so I enjoy it. But I can get up from it. But you know what I mean? I'm not yelling at, oh, I don't want to get off of Minecraft like thing. I wonder if it's like strategic implementation of some type of interceptor. Is it created because what the coding? Like I said, we're processing systems, so we're analyzing, we're receiving this information as we're outputting our information, and I would like to understand as to what type of games create the lack of motivation, what type, or is it just video games in general, and in which case is it super console? So we have to do it to where we have Xbox players that play Call of Duty, PlayStation players that play Call of Duty, Xbox players that play 2K or fantasy games, like different stuff like that, to see how video games actually affect. And then the people that play no video games, then the people that play moderate video games, people that play array of video games, people that play, even if they don't play often, just specific video games, like, because we would be able to determine if it's something that's within the game itself, or what is it doing to the brain's like chemical biology in order for it to, like, to why it's messing it up. Like I don't want to say messing it up, but it's obviously reconstructing it, because do they have motivation before? And you have to take someone who was extremely active, and then that's when we would have to get people who don't play video games down.
I would have no problem with saying that it's messing them up, to be honest with you. And like with the motivation thing, I'd also like to add that we would probably want to check their motivation towards doing other things away from video games. You know what I'm saying?
And prior to exposure to the video game, and after exposure to the video game, and then while having exposure to the video game, then also to see the reaction from when the video game's taken away for a week, and see the reaction when I know, but it's just because I would like to know what the issue is, why it's causing the issue. Is there a safe alternative? Is there a way we can play? I mean, I know the moderation helps, but I also know too, sometimes they get frustrated, even if I have to moderate. So how do we eliminate that frustration to where we understand this is just we don't throw Monopoly because we're no longer playing. We said we're done playing Monopoly. You know what I mean? Let's get up. Why are we not going crazy because we're not playing Monopoly anymore? I don't know.
You got anything to say on that, John?
Well, slightly off topic. I've told you both before, when I was coming out of my religious group I was in many years ago, I had different like visions of the future and stuff. And one of the ones I had was there was a doorway. I went in and it said the man who fell to, and the last bit of the word I wasn't able to see. And when I went in there was loads of kids with VR headsets on. They're playing like games. I didn't know what VR was then, because this was 1985, you know, but that's what they had on. And I listened to you both talking, and it's just come to me, it's basically consoles with a lot of kids, especially the kids you've just talking about, your son and stuff, or PCs, gaming, whatever. It's basically sucking the life out of them, making them like
zombies.
You know, it's like a drug. It's almost like a drug.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. And I think
reactors.
Yeah, I just think it is. It's becoming that way. And even recently, might sound stupid to you guys, but I've been sort of guided to stay away a bit from the gaming than I was doing, and I feel so much better for it. You know what I mean? I do feel different. I gotta be honest. I'm just talking about the last few weeks. For different reasons, I've not played games so much, and I do feel better for it. More mentally sharper, and I just can't put into words, but I do. So,
do you feel healthier? Like mentally healthier, like you said, mentally sharper, of course, but like emotionally, it's doing something to the receptors. I don't know what it is.
I would be like, I don't know what I'd be like. I just say playing certain games, and my son would like ask me something, And I go mental. I really would look a loser. I think I would go, I can't got to do this now for and I just stopped one day. I thought, what the hell am I doing? And I just, that's it. And I just stopped. This one particular game I was playing was making me go like that. And I stopped it completely. I played it for a year, just stopped it. And then I played this other game now, and I was fine. He asked for something, I'd be totally fine. And then I started to go like the way it was with the other game, with this one, and I thought, right, that's it, I'm stopping. And I just stopped. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is affecting me, and I know it's affecting me, and I just thought, no, I'm not having this. Obviously, my son comes first, and I'm not having myself being like this. And so this is why recently I've just cut down how much I play, and that's.
Well, it just gave me chills. I mean,
Yeah.
just kudos to you for recognizing it. You know how many people get lost and end up being mass shooters, not to throw in what a brape.
See, I just want to watch Minecraft videos.
Minecraft, go, but no, watch it on your iPad. You hear him? I just want to watch Minecraft videos. Please, can I? Okay, well, listen, only Minecraft videos. No Robux, no anything else. You know that. And only the kids that do Minecraft, not the big boys. Roger's the only big boy you can watch play Minecraft. But, so it's just, it's because a lot of people will be in denial, and you're not in denial. You were like, yo, something's wrong, something's throwing me off. And to even know that it's the video game that's causing that, that means that you were granted awareness, because some people will just freak out and not even be given the ability to address what the issue is and just become the freaker outers, or like I said, the mass shooters. So the fact that you're able to say, whoa, and I think it's this game, there's something there, and there's, excuse me, a reason that there's a reason you were able to see that, because not everyone's able to see everything. Like, we would love to be able to, but you have to really put in the work to be able to see. And you were able to recognize, this is not who I am. Something is taking me away from who I am, and then as a result, be who you are. I mean, that's like I said, that's definitely commendable, because most people, they're not. It's not the same. They'll just keep going. They don't want to take a break, and I want to know. And see, that's another question. Why is it easy for some people to disassociate with the video game? He said he just stopped. Why is that? Maybe it wasn't easy for him. So was it easy for you? If you don't mind, I just want to know, was it easy for you? Did you find it difficulty stopping, or?
No, I just stopped. And then I deleted the game. And then I didn't. There was no. What it was. The second game, I was one night I just sort of overreacted about something, and I thought, what the hell is going on? And I just thought it was a one-off incident. Maybe I was tired, because I don't sleep very well anyway. And it happened the next night again, and I thought, hang on, I'm not having this no more. And I just deleted the game there, and I haven't played it since. So the next day, it was like, I got 5 minutes in my hands now. I was like, oh, I want to play. I want to play something, and then I realized, no, I'll just put some more positive in my time. So I started updating my website, or I looked on videos about Freemasons, or I used my time in alternate ways, and I was finding I was better for it, if you know what I mean. So
that's the same with social media, and that's something I'm having to look, because I got off of social media for years, and then just in order for me to be able to interact and to be able to offer my services, because now this whole face-to-face, door-to-door, hi, you know me, I know you thing is a little bit more difficult, because everyone else is social media zombies. You're like, oh, so what's your Instagram? I don't have an Instagram. Well, how can I trust you if you don't have an Instagram? It's like, I know, right? Me in the flesh is definitely a lot less trustable than some random site that I might not even operate. Of course, it makes sense to me. But so I had to get back on it. But then when I find myself getting distracted, I have to delete it from my devices and only have my business ones up. And I know for my business one, I'd like for there to be a certain presentation. I don't want you to get deterred because I'm having one of my rants. But I'll tell you, hey, this is my page as well. So if you're going to do business with me, just know that's my page. But you don't have to worry about it if you follow this page. I'm not going to rant on here. But on them, I do rant. And I mean, that is still me. But it's just, man, where's Scott's living, Miss Mom? There's something here. And there's a reason that it's like this. And and I know it's to be controlled. It's to help to control us. But I want to see the other side.
The the one thing, man, that really sticks out to me, like John was hitting it right there. Okay, especially when it came to my son. He came and lived with us about 3 years ago from Indiana, and the first thing that he had was his computer. I mean, that was all he had in a freaking trash bag. You know what I mean? So he turns around, he comes in, he sets his computer up on the coffee table, he freaking puts his trash bag of clothes over in the corner, and we all had stuff set up for him, like a bed to sleep in. Before he moved in, he was sleeping on a foam freaking mattress at a buddy's house, you know, and the only thing he wanted to do was freaking play these video games, you know, and it had even caused issues with his mom and his stepdad to where things got out of hand and he freaking left, and there was a fight that was involved with him and his stepdad, and I didn't understand the whole story until he came to live with me and I actually watched this stuff, you know what I mean? But as I got to know him a little better while he was here, because he just recently moved out, but I started noticing it was all about the video game. It pissed him off because he had to get up and go to work, you know what I mean? And that right there is a sign there's something wrong there. And
The dependency on these things. Did you address this with him?
oh yeah, I mentioned it to him at least 5 times, and he just it's a classic addiction. Yeah, it's a classic addiction thing where they try to avoid the question, like, or you know what I mean, just try to, it's avoiding whenever you mention it to somebody who's addicted to something about their problem, they want to try to come up with a different thing to talk about, you know. So
that literally just happened to me last night. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's so funny you say that, because now it makes me look at, and that's a different type of addiction. It's more like a sex addiction, but it's just crazy because, like, you're right. And every time you bring up one thing, they want to deter the conversation to, no, this is like, wow. So that is addiction in general. Well, at least then, dang. I wonder if I'm like that about coffee. No. I'll explain why I like coffee.
Oh, I am. I'm addicted to coffee 100%.
You know what's so funny is because you're like on Joffrey's show, you're just like, yeah, well, I'll stay for the last part. I had to get my coffee though, and I'm just I don't even keep coffee in the house because I was doing good not drinking it, and then all of a sudden I'm back on it, and so like I have to order it and all this other stuff. I'm like, nope, just gonna have to thug it out without the coffee. As soon as I wake up though, the first thing, and I notice that I'm grouchy if I don't have my little hit of caffeine, and it's just like, gotta get it in. You know
it's so bad. It's so bad that even Rapid knows. He's like freaking. He knows that before I do anything with him, I need to get a cup of coffee. I need to have a pot of coffee made, and that's just the way. I think that's probably what I need to start doing for a thumbnail. Just put a cup of coffee on the thumbnail.
And then when you're not on stream, right, please stand by with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, coffee image. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be a good idea, to be honest, because that really does name me. Like, he did such a good job on that avatar, but at the same time, like a coffee cup, it just explained me in one lump sum. So I do understand that, you know, when it comes to being addiction, whenever it comes to video games, because I've had the issue too. I got hooked on Facebook games. Stopped doing that. I ended up getting hooked on those strategy games where freaking you have to like wait 5 days for your army to attack another person.
I love you as well.
Stopped doing that. Then I started doing these games for streaming and everything. John's the one that talked me into that, by the way.
What are Facebook games like? I never. Oh, John, you welcomed them to the dark side, eh?
But being honest, I I didn't get serious about streaming them though until John talked me into them. That's when I started streaming video games, and I had to worry about time management and stuff like that. And that's
Oh, the way you're attempting to get me. Oh, look at you.
it's
Junkie per junkie per junkie. You're like, yeah, we're gonna start
I
watching
do
these streams.
I do see a difference between the streaming video games and just playing them. You know what I mean? Because like I don't have the time to sit down in front of a computer and play a video game all the time. Like the editing and all the preparation that's involved in it sets me back to where I might be able to sit down and play a video game maybe a week out of the month, if that. I
And
mean,
see, that's how they don't get that. They're like, you're doing other stuff. What you're sitting down and you're front of your iPad. Why can't you get on Minecraft right now? Because like, it's a little constructive what I'm doing. I'm attempting to be proactive, and it's just crazy to me because to stream, especially like when I'm like thinking about Twitch people and stuff that are like heavy hardcore, will pay. And see, that's another thing, paying people to do these things that are causing them to disassociate from the world. If that's not strategy and agenda, I don't know what is. Because why? You know what I mean? We don't. I don't see people like people are not offering substantial income to heal. Most people shun therapists, and I mean, like what I'm attempting to do, people have attempted to recreate, reconstruct, and do themselves to make it less of what it is. But like, heal your energy. No, I'm not gonna heal my energy. I'm gonna sit here and let this box drain it, and then you have the people in the back, and we'll pay you if you let this box drain it. It's like, are you kidding me? And it's just like, why wouldn't you rather be able to? Something's not right. Why wouldn't you rather be able to have your power? Why would you? What about it? Like, and almost any kids you give a video game to, it's not like it's simple to where some kids will just be like, I don't want to play. You know what I mean? If they get older and they get exposed, excuse me, there's a chance that they might say no. Like I didn't have any video games until I was 16. Was the first time I touched a video game ever in my life, and so that's why I can turn it off or turn it on, turn it on, turn it off. And it was Spyro. I was playing Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. And so it was a little bit, well, no, that's not true because I had Super Mario. I had my own, well, I didn't have it. My uncle had Super Nintendo. And so we would play Super Mario and and he had Sonic. He had Sega Genesis and he played Sonic. But that I only could play, and my uncle was 10 months younger than me. So I could only play when I was around him. Then when they moved to North Carolina and I was still in Jersey, that's like I said, I had no video game access until I turned 16. And then it was Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and I had Sonic as well too then because it was the PlayStation that I got. I just wonder, but if you give a kid a video game, they're not going to be like, no, I don't want to play this. Like if you give a kid a cell phone, they're going to take it. They're going to use it. Watching TV, cartoons. But like if you don't give them those things, and this is what I learned with my boys because we didn't used to have a TV in the house when they were babies, and me and my husband, their father, listen, we didn't play that. Like the first time that my kids watched TV, they were 3. We had we had a big TV when my baby was 1, but he never watched TV. You know what I mean? We never had it on for him to watch or anything like that. For Juice, but when he was 3 was when we got it to and we were in Florida and they had a TV and they would watch cartoons. That was when we would sit down and watch the cartoons, let them watch cartoons. And the only reason we started doing that was because we were sending in preschool who had no problem sitting my kids in front of a TV just to watch cartoon, whatever. Now we would do the learning program. Like Baby Einstein was real big on Baby Einstein back then, and I would do stuff like that. But as far as just here, you're gonna watch, and even like the Coco Melon. Everyone's so like, oh, Coco Melon, do I? Like you have to be careful because some of the concepts that are integrated within these shows are something that are again based off of an agenda. We would like this type of outcome, so we're going to put this into the storyline. And diversity and honoring that is good, but there's a reason, man, that is. What do we want zombies for? Why would you want a zombie? Like, unless you want, unless you're.
First of all, zombies are freaking good at building up your health. Okay, so when you kill a zombie, you take the zombie meat and you eat it, because zombie meat is good.
Adrenochrome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, another thing too. Let me also say something, and John will is what I want to aim this at, because John was around whenever I was just playing around with these videos and streaming, but I was addicted to the games, and that was on my main account, and I'd always share those. But later on, when I actually started getting serious about streaming, that's when I actually did better at it. And I noticed that going back through my old account and trying to do them. But John, did you notice the difference too? Like when I first started, how crappy it was. I was more important for me to play the game rather than edit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, some of your early streams were like, not very good quality at all, to be honest. But I see now you've cracked it now. But I did notice that.
Yeah, you pointed it out a couple times.
Yeah.
Too. I even got mad at him a couple times because he pointed it out to me.
Only here to please.
Hey, you're not engaging with your audience. Who cares? I need to win this level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I ain't got time for all that shit. I literally had meltdowns and stuff over it because I'd rather play the game than actually stop, take time to edit the videos the way they needed to be edited and put them on there. Alright? My mentality was that the game was more important than the editing. And that's one thing I noticed even there. So.
But see, I feel like that about my content. Like, I just like editing, and also too because I feel like it's better for you to be able to see. Like, I feel like editing is almost fake, and it's just like you're not seeing me in raw, you're not seeing me in real, you're seeing me how I would like to be presented. And I mean, it's might as well. What are you doing? I might as well have a filter for all of that. Like, you know what I mean? These girls take these beautiful pictures and then they throw a filter on it and you see them. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, are you a man? And it's like, you're not the same person. The same with editing. It's like, that's why I never edit my videos. I didn't realize, well, you didn't take no time. You didn't care. You didn't want to edit it. But it's just a matter of like, no, see me in real raw form. So you can never say I deceived you. You can never say.
Before you go there, let me point something out. You know how you prevent having to edit?
How? Do it right the first time?
Do it right the first time. Yeah. There's certain things that you can do to make it to where you don't have to edit a good video. Just if you can get it right the first time, then cool. But if you can't, you should probably edit, because that's and like me on my videos, games, especially here in the last year or so, I've been doing fail videos because I feel the same way as you. You know what I mean? I don't want people to get on my videos and think I'm Mr. Game God of this game or that guy.
Right.
So not only do they get to see the videos that I edit, but they also get to see the fail videos where I fall on my face. You know? And I found out people actually like those better than they do the edited ones.
Yes, people like authenticity. Imagine. People like real. Oh my gosh. No, let's just pretend to be something we're not in order for us to be seeming more likable. When people find out that you deceive them, they dislike you no matter how hard you attempt to dress it up. That's why, just like I said, that was one of the biggest things about the Joe. It's just like, yo, I know people are going to dog me and talk trash about me, and people always attempt to use your weaknesses against you or use your flaws against you. You're not going to be able to talk to me about my weight. I'll talk to you about my weight. You're not going to be able to talk to me about my hair. I'll talk to you about I'm saying, like, you're not telling me nothing. Like, I get up with this girl every single day. I be in the mud with this girl. I be in the shower with this girl. I be on the bus, on the boat, whatever. Like, you're not going to be able to tell me anything about me. But them people who want to just, get ready with me, they'll be wearing sweatpants underneath their pajamas and be like, when they sleep. And, it's like he has his whole outfit on. It's like you guys are going, like, above and beyond. But look, it'll be, like, millions of views. Like, oh, man, we love this fake shit. And it's just like, how can you love something that's just not authentic? I don't know. I don't like fake. I don't do fake. It just bugs me. I don't want to be fake. People be fake. Unless it's hair and lashes. I'll do some fake hair and lashes.
Now that we're talking about fail videos, did you see the fail video I put at the end of the round table last night.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I put the part in where you guys were getting onto the round table before I could record, and you were getting help from Tan.
Mhm.
I put that on the ending, so if you watch the video and then you see the ending, you'll see that part, and you'll see some parts from the part where I got on and everything.
You
'Cause,
hear
like,
me telling him to let me do his interview first? Like, hey, let me do
yeah,
his interview
it's
first.
on there. That was awesome.
You know, yeah, because you
That
know me,
was
so it's
that
fun
was
to do.
awesome. I was
Let me
sitting
get it
there.
first.
I think I even laughed on the video, to be honest with you. I thought
While
it
you're editing,
while I was editing it, I was sitting there. I really think I freaking laughed on it. Like,
I
it was
knew you would
hilarious.
appreciate it if you were listening. You know me, I don't know if you're recording or not. I'll be dancing and you'll be like, oh yeah, I was recording. I'm like, oh yeah, I bet you were. You see that? It's like one of those things to where it's like I knew you would know. So it was like, let me get it first. Come on, let me get it first. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got any thoughts there, John?
Thoughts on what, mate? Sorry, I was a bit distracted then. Which particular
It's
bit?
fine.
I like when he says mate. Mate is so cool to me.
I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts. If you're distracted, it's fine. I just
No, yeah, what thoughts on what bit, mate? Sorry, I heard some of it, but some of it was called away.
Editing versus
Oh yeah, I do. Yes, I have. Yeah. Well, funny enough, I'm not not trying to get back to me, but you know, with them podcast things I've been doing recently, I think I spoke about it on my Discord about one of the people who actually interviewed was quite critical about my video, saying I was not speaking soft enough and all this. And I remember Karma saying then how genuine it was, because I was like showing that I was like a bit nervous and I was just being me, and as she just said, or for this see, just being authentic, because I was just being me.
Right.
But yet there was another person then was saying, oh no, you should be like this and like this, and I thought, well, no, I'm not like that. I am who I am, you know.
Right.
All my failures, I am who I am, you know, and that's what I was thinking when you were talking about that.
yeah.
So
I've enjoyed every video that you put out, even the ones you don't even talk in. They're pretty cool. I mean, you got an eye for it, you know. So I wouldn't really take. Well, maybe at least listen to a lot of their criticisms, but don't take it
Take
to
it with a
heart.
grain of yeah, you'll take it like a grain of sand type thing. Like,
'Cause
yeah, I've got ideas for the future. They're trickling through now. What I'm going to be doing, some stuff I'm going to be bringing in. It's I said earlier on Karma's chat that I had ideas, but you know what they were, but they're starting to come through now. So I got a few little ideas, but still not fully there. But I'm going to be a difference from my videos before this holiday till after. Going to be slightly different.
Hey, and that's another thing. This is a video game centered stream, and we never had a chance to like do a plug for you on video games. If you want to, could you tell everybody your video game channels and stuff?
Well, my main one has over 1,000 subs. That's Old John's Gaming World. I've got another channel, Old John's Dungeon Crawlers. It's got about 44 subs, and another one which is pretty much died now. That one's called No Muggles Allowed. That one's called the Harry Potter channel. That is, and I just don't have the time to work on that anymore, so I may have to just delete that one. I'm not sure. That's the 3 game channels I got.
Well, I mean, I know you're a Wales man and everything, but I mean, you gotta kind of understand that, like, Harry Potter really sucks. I mean,
no, what
the
are you
game.
saying? Be quiet. Oh goodness, watch his mouth. That was so.
I need to be careful, dude, because hopefully
What?
Zach doesn't hear that. He'll have a fit.
I love Harry Potter. You have to.
No, I mean the video game.
Oh, I never played it. There's a Harry Potter video. There's no way it can suck.
I'm just joking. I've never played it.
You're just picking on that man.
I gotta be careful.
Get him, John.
I gotta be careful too, cause then there's Zach. Zach hears that he'll have a comment to say, cause I post this on YouTube too, and on Discord. So, but yeah.
Where, where's the block button?
Where's the block on this thing?
Uh,
Right.
but yeah, I think we've covered pretty much a lot of good stuff, man. We've come to an hour and 9 minutes, so I think actually it's longer because I started the stream before this. So, you guys got any final words you want to say?
I appreciated this conversation, especially when we're attempting to figure out how we can make stuff better, but incorporate the things that we enjoy. Because, I mean, it's not like it's not fun stuff. It's just a matter of having fun in a healthy way. Like, I guess it's like drinking in moderation, video gaming in moderation, and even socializing in moderation. Because too much socialization, like, that's why sometimes you'll not see me all day long in the chats and stuff. Because too much exchanged energy can leave you depleted, especially if you're not exchanging energy with the proper avenues. You can, you know what I mean? You would love to
Mm-hmm.
feel like everyone is on the level that you're on or whatever the case may be, but not everyone is. And sometimes it's your mental health against their mental weakness. And their mental weakness can ultimately, especially if you're not being replenished with something that's making you stronger, then I mean, you're just sitting there left and now, you know, you're feeling like there's, especially recently in the past couple of weeks, it's been better to that's why I like talking to Bob Dub. But it's been better as of late. But it'll be those times to where I'm just like, I feel horrible today, but I never feel like this. I feel like I'm not good. Like, what? This isn't me. Who is this in here? Like, I know better than that. Like, and then I'll just disassociate for a little bit, and then I'll feel better, and then I'll start associating again, and I'll feel not so good, and I'm like, yep, I need to kind of keep myself, unfortunately, protected, because not a lot of people are aware or at least taking responsibility for the things that they may or may not be causing. So I don't know. Video games are a good release, but they're also something you have to do in moderation. So I appreciate us being able to speak on that aspect. My toes look pretty, but that's.
What about you, John?
I think balance is the key with video games for sure. And I was going to say something, and I've lost. God, it's something that Karma said about energy. Yeah, I do feel that it can deplete your energy, especially. Oh, my son's coming, you know. I'll have to end it there.
Was that your
Okay.
baby?
Yeah, he's in the room with me. Do you want to say hello?
He's so cute.
No, he doesn't want to say hello. No.
It's
No.
okay. You're so sweet.
Okay, I gotta go and get him some food. Okay.
All right. Thanks, John.
See you later.
Now, before we end this, I also do want to make an announcement on the recording. I've already said it in the stream, but big news just came up. I did actually make contact with Minds Gaming, and he said that he'd be willing to do an interview with us.
Nice.
So that's a big deal.
Hey, yo, you're killing the game right now, just for the record.
You know,
Like, heavyweight stuff.
well, Minds Gaming is a pretty big deal too, because like he was one of the guys that were helping the not only with gaming but with like the writing corner and everybody who was writing, and then he'd get on well, like what Mark does. I mean, that's basically what Minds Gaming was doing too. So he's a big deal. I mean, if I can get him on here for an interview, that'd be a big deal, because a lot of people can actually hear him. Like me, I think he's one heck of a guy, and he deserves a lot more recognition than what he's actually gotten on mine. So, like I said, I'm working out a time and a date. He says he's good on the weekend, so we can probably get an interview going with him, maybe here on Saturday, you know what I mean? So, live instead of pre-recorded.
That'll be dope.
Yeah.
I like when it's live. Well, when we're all live, because I like to be able to ask questions. That's one of the things that I respect about even like just us being a part of other streams and stuff. Because back then, when I was watching them streams, I wouldn't even yours. Well, yours, when at first I would ask you questions, I didn't really talk much. I would ask a lot of questions, but I never really offered much input. And then it's just cool to be able to have someone like, okay, well, what does that mean? Okay, well, how do you do that? This, that, and the third. So that's neat. I like those. I like those lives.
Okay, so with that being said, you guys ready to call it quits?
Okie dokie. Well, you have a good night. Be safe. Thank you.
You too, and you guys have a good night as well. Thanks for stopping in, John.